Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and happy birthday if today's your birthday. And welcome to, I think, our third annual wrap and chat video. If you're new to the channel, this is something that I do every year, typically during Vlogmas, but obviously not doing Vlogmas this year. But essentially we're gonna wrap gifts together and I'm gonna answer some questions that I got from you guys on Instagram. And that's it, it's a wrap and chat. I think it's pretty obvious. And this, I believe, is going to be the second to last video on my channel for this year, unless I just don't get the next video done and then maybe this is the last video, but I'm planning on getting the last one done. So obviously I'm filming this before Christmas, but it's going up a couple days after, so I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. No matter what you celebrate, I hope you had a great time with people who you love. We're gonna wrap some presents. I've already selected a couple questions for us to talk through. So let's get situated with what we're gonna wrap first here, and then we'll get into a question. Oh my gosh, I forgot about so much stuff that I bought you and Dad. Like I've now gotten you so much because I forgot about this.
See? That's what happens to me.
If you heard any background noise, my mom's just making soup in the kitchen. You know, we're getting through it. We only have like a half hour here before we need to leave, so it's gonna be a speedy one. So the first thing that someone asked is, they said, I'm new to following you. I'd love to hear about you and Connor and how you met. So I'll keep this one short and sweet because I feel like I've answered this on my channel so many times. Con and I have been together for almost 5 years now, so it's been a little while since we met. Con and I actually met on Hinge, so we are a dating app couple. I was a big dating app girly and I stand by it, and I think dating apps are awesome. It's kind of a different time now, I think. Obviously that was, like I said, 5 years ago, so I think things have probably changed a little bit. Okay, James, you don't have to go in the back. Ginger, no. But I loved it. I think that like dating apps are a great way to meet people, and I stand by that. Connor and I matched. He ended up asking me out and I ended up blowing him off a couple times. And then eventually we met up, and it is kind of funny, we laugh about it now, because Con's not really the kind of person to follow up on things, you know, like he's not great at stuff like that. So the fact that I blew him off like, I think 2 or maybe even 3 times before we met, and he just kept following up for a date, is honestly a miracle. And every time, well, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, every time was a legitimate reason for why I wasn't meeting up with him, but you know, still. So obviously we ended up meeting eventually, and that was that. The rest is history, I suppose. And yeah, lived apart for a couple of years. Now we've lived together for almost 2 years, and things are good. So that's that. That's the lowdown on me and Con. The next question is this the coming year that you buy a house? TBD. I keep a close eye on houses in areas that we would be interested in buying. But I really think, to be honest, we just have to wait for the market to crash, because homes in Southern California are obviously very expensive and interest rates are extremely high right now. For example, I found this house that I ended up just absolutely falling in love with. It wasn't really anything that we could afford in general, but I was just looking at like, okay, if we put like $300,000 down on this house, which again, we can't really do. We don't have $300,000 to put down. But in theory, if we did, and the monthly payments on that house were still more than $10,000 a month. So maybe we gotta wait for some of that stuff to even out a little bit, calm down, and then we can look at buying. So I'm not sure if that will be next year or not, but maybe if the right place comes up at the right time for the right price, we are definitely interested in purchasing. Oh, I thought this one was kind of interesting. So someone said, is there ever a time where Connor just isn't feeling being on cam? How do you deal with it? To be totally honest, Connor and I have not really run into that issue where he's like specifically said, I don't feel like being on camera right now, which I think has been lucky. But I also think I'm pretty good at reading his moods and knowing like, maybe now would not be the best time to pull out the camera. But he honestly is so chill about it. He doesn't care at all. It doesn't bother him when I bring the camera out ever. Like when we go on date nights and I say I'm gonna leave my camera at home because I don't feel like vlogging, like it truly is me. Connor has never ever said a word about it. I just don't think it bothers him, and I think I'm also pretty good just because I've been doing it for so long at not letting it like really get in the way at all. Like I just get the clip and move on, and it's not like some big to-do usually. I feel like I'm in such a rush to get all my presents done. It's like not gonna be my best wrap jobs ever. So next question that someone asked is most anticipated reads of 2023. So I haven't sorted out like my full 2023 TBR. I mean, obviously it changes so much throughout the year, But some things off the top of my head. Very excited for the sequel to The Handmaid to come out. I think that comes out in February. So I'm really, really excited about that. I loved the way that the end of the first book really set up the sequel, and I'm glad that I read it when I did because the sequel comes out so soon after when I first read the book. So that's definitely exciting. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, I cut this paper wrong again. What is happening? I'm also really excited. I'm gonna start the, what is that book called? Haunting Adeline? Yeah, Haunting Adeline series. I'm gonna start that next year. Me, Kate, and Vic are gonna read the first one together. I've heard a lot about it, and I'm very intrigued to get into that. So that'll be good. I wanna get back into the Magnolia Park series. I'm obviously going to finish the Harry Potter series off. I'll have 2 more books to go there. So that will be exciting. Yeah, and that's kind of off the top of my head what I'm most excited about. But as far as what books are coming out next year, I would say The Housemaid sequel is probably my most anticipated as of right now. Next question someone asked is 2023 travel plans, any JARA trips? So there is already one JARA trip that is scheduled in for this year, which we're super excited about, but we do want to try to do a couple more girls trips this year because we think that would be fun. Other than that, I think Con and I definitely want to do a big Europe trip this year, so that will be awesome. And yeah, that's kind of what's fully been discussed and determined for 2023, but I'm sure lots of other little things will pop up here and there. Ginge, what are you crying so much about, huh? What?
What happened?
The next question someone asked are, who are your favorite YouTubers to watch? And I have to be honest, you guys, I'm kind of a bit of a nerd, and I don't watch a ton of YouTube in general, outside of like people who are my friends, whose videos I want to watch and support. But 2 YouTube channels that I watch a lot are actually both Sims channels. I watch a lot of Sims YouTube. Got super into it last year, and I don't know, this whole year I've just been really into it. But in particular, my favorites, I like Little Simsy. She's good, but my favorite one is his username is Devin Bumpkin. His name is Aiden, and he is so good at building in The Sims. I absolutely love watching him build, and his personality is freaking hilarious. He makes me laugh so much. Like, I truly think even if you don't care about like Sims videos or anything like that, that you would genuinely enjoy his channel because he is just such a bright light. I love him so much. I love watching him. It's just so good. Ginge, if you knock that camera down. Dindy. Ginge, you do not, Ginger, no, you do not need to lay right there right now. No, look at this little cat. She's right here. No. No, you gotta go down on your blankie. Crazy girl. Someone said, your parents are so cute. How did they meet? Give the short version.
I'll give a short version. Matt is a musician, really good musician actually. You might have seen some of his stuff on her channel. And I met him at somebody's house. We were all getting together to do a concert. I actually was with my boyfriend when I met him. And I thought, who is this guy? Like, all these girls are screaming and yelling for him. He had long hair, all that stuff. And then finally, he like showed up as like just such a nice guy, and
really helped her through her breakup. It was really hard for him. It was really hard for him to help you through it, but...
Exactly. Actually, my boyfriend said, I don't know if I'm making a mistake breaking up with Karen.
Said that to Dad?
Said it to Dad.
And he's like, no, I think you're making the right
He's
choice.
Like, you're good, guy. You're good. Go ahead. So, that's it.
So funny.
That's it.
Okay, next question. Someone asked if I was going to be joining Kaya's reset in January, and I definitely am. You guys probably know this if you watch, but Kaya is the person who I work out with, and in January she's hosting a reset. She does them a couple times a year, and it's just a really good opportunity to get into like working out and get into a good group with it. Look how cute this is. But yes, I'm gonna be there. If you feel like fitness is one of your goals, I highly recommend going to Kaya because she's not about looking your best, she's about feeling your best and just like really putting fitness into the right mindset. She's all about mindset work when it comes to that, and how like simple moves that you can do while working out will help you to be more mobile and active for the rest of your life. So I just think it's a really awesome environment. She is such a good person. She's become a very, very good friend of mine now, and I truly love, she's changed my entire mindset around being active and working out. And so yeah, I highly recommend, if you're interested in joining, that you come and do so. I think you'll love it. I'll try to remember to leave a link to that down below, but if I don't and you're interested, comment and I will add the link. With that, I guess I will see you guys when we are back here, and I'm gonna continue with my wrapping. And we're back. Yet again. Like no time has passed. And let's get through this, because you know I kind of just feel like relaxing. It's Christmas Eve and I just wrap up the wrap, as we've been saying. So where did we leave off on the Q&A? Okay, we kind of touched on some of this, but I still want to touch on a piece of this question. Someone said, do you and Con plan on getting married / buying a house, etc. before 30? The pressure is real. I mean, Connor turns 30 like this coming year, so we're not gonna be married before then. That's for sure. And also more than likely will not own a home. No. And I turned 29 this year, so I don't know exactly what that timeline will look like. But what I want to talk about is that you said the pressure is real, because I feel that. I know that that's kind of like the societal norm, I guess, for people to do that. But I do think that our generation is starting to break a lot of that. You don't really have to be as worried about those things. Obviously there are some biological things that I suppose you have to think about, but for the most part, I'm really not that concerned. I'm not that rushed, and I don't feel the pressure. Like, I do feel like sometimes there's pressure coming from like external sources. That being said, I don't really feel like it gets to me at all. I have what I want, of course, in mind, but as far as what other people want or have to say about that, I really just don't care that much, to be totally honest. We're doing our own thing. We have our own plans in place. I think as much as you can help it, ignore the pressure, because it's all made up anyway. There's no reason to have any kind of specific timelines or anything like that, you know? Like, all of that's so silly. It's so outdated, and you can do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. So that's my thought on it anyway. The next question is, what are some of your resolutions that you would like to pursue in the new year? So honestly, I have not thought super deeply about my resolutions yet. I definitely need to start doing that so that I can make my vision board and kind of put pen to paper and really get to the bottom of what I want out of next year. But one big one that I definitely have in mind is that I want to get way more comfortable saying no way more often. I feel like so often I just do whatever is going to be easier for other people, and even if it's not something that I want to do, or you know, because I feel bad, and I want to work really hard on moving past that. It's one of the things that I'm working on in therapy. I definitely want to, you know, I guess a resolution would be to continue to stick with therapy going into next year, and really just work on myself. Like that's what I want my main focus to be next year, is really working on myself, my future, and leaving a lot of the other stuff behind, negativity, toxicity, all of that. Just really not allowing it to fester in my life. So those are two kind of bigger ones. I know they're not specific resolutions necessarily. Those are some of the things that I'm going to be working on being better at next year. Keeping the wrapping is super basic this year. I'm not even bothering with ribbons or anything.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm too late. I waited too long to start my wrapping now. I just can't be bothered. Okay, and one last question here to answer. I just thought this one was really interesting. It says, what's something that you will do for yourself to heal in 2023? Which I think kind of ties into what I was literally just already talking about with you guys. I just really want to prioritize myself a lot more this year and spend less time worrying about other people and what they'll think or how they'll perceive me. I feel like I'm good at doing that when it comes to like YouTube or people online. Like I don't think as much about that, but with people in my life, I feel like I spend a lot of energy thinking about what they think of what I do or what I decide or what I say, or I don't know, just how I present myself. And I just kind of want to move past that. I just feel like I'm turning 29 this year. I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to have to even think about it. at all. That's something that I'm going to be doing, is just putting myself first. I include Connor in that also, just prioritizing him and I and what we want to do with our lives, and working really hard at it this next year. So yeah, I think that's definitely a big one for me. That saying no, just all of that really coming into play to help me be the best version of myself. I kind of like that last question a lot, so I want you guys to comment down below what you're doing this year to heal yourself and work on yourself and really just make 2023 a great year. 2022 ended up, I know I've said this, really was not my favorite year. Not the best. Didn't love it. So I'm excited. There, as cliche as like New Year's are, I do think that it is just a good excuse for a fresh start, a fresh mindset, and just kind of working on yourself. So let me know what you guys are doing to heal yourself and be better in 2023. Well, that's my cue. My father's home. We're going to be watching the Eagles game. So thank you guys for watching. If this does end up being my last video of the year, have a great New Year's, and I'll see you next year, and hopefully I'll be seeing you one more time this year. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Jen, do you want to say goodbye? Say goodbye, everyone. Meow.